Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra.
We're ladies.
And we tangent.
What's up, everyone? Hello. Guess what? We're at the beach right now. Also, hey, thanks everybody for all your kind words last week. And also, what was so funny to me was there were people who were like saying that they experience BPD and they experience it in a very similar way. And then there are other people who are like, you absolutely don't have BPD. You need to talk to your therapist about this. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't. And maybe other people don't. And maybe it is a catch-all diagnosis and maybe it's nothing. But like the main point was people felt validated. A conversation was had.
Yeah.
And
oh, I got some not nice things in my DMs, but it's okay.
You did?
Yeah, I think people. I was explaining this on my stream. I had a whole breakdown and cried on stream. It was all.
You had negative things said to you?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Just, I think, for not being able to understand you. And I was like, well, that was the first time we had ever talked about it. I think people don't know that. They didn't know that. And they were like, hey, just because there were multiple things that were said. First of all, I think somebody thought they were like disappointed that I didn't come with like better resources as someone who's an educated and I was like, that was not a
First of all, in the description, I said that there would be no resources and it was an impromptu, not planned. And actually it was not a reflection of what BPD was.
So in case you didn't read that, just know that was not. I'm
so upset that people were mean to you. And I'm so
I brushed
sorry.
it off. It was only a couple. And honestly, the good overweighed the bad, obviously. Yeah. It was a good conversation to have. And there were some people that were like, hey, this made me, as someone who has BPD, understand the people in my life because I liked that you were able to explain, like, I don't really.
Yes.
I just wanted to learn more.
Yes.
And I think, they might have thought that I think what happened was some people put themselves in your shoes directly and then assumed I was speaking to you the way I would speak to them. But like you and I have a rapport. We're friends in a way that I know you. So I'm like, I'm not saying what I said to her to you, that your situations might be different.
Well, and I think too, I was able to respond to you in a very open, I feel very safe talking to you. So I feel like in another situation, if somebody
knew I wasn't judging or being like,
I think if somebody would have maybe presented questions even in a different way, because I never felt like you were being accusatory or like you were shaming. Good. I really genuinely felt like you were coming from a place of trying to understand, and it helped me. It helped me ask me questions because it's like, am I being thorough in figuring out these thoughts? And so like it was really helpful to me. And so I thought that like this is a really this was a really helpful conversation, because if people don't have people in their lives that they feel safe with to have these conversations, here is like an example of one happening in real time with real heightened emotions because they weren't practiced. Yeah. They weren't numbed. It was like, this is real time.
Yeah. I think I also might have got in my own head after, because I thought it was a great conversation when we left here. I was like, that was great. And I told people, I was like, Jerry wasn't mad at me. That's the thing. Because people were, I don't know if they thought that. I was like, we hung out that whole night. We literally hung out until 9 p.m. that night.
Yeah.
So that was fine. There was no, I think maybe they just, because sometimes I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah. Some points I might have been more quiet, whereas I could have been more supportive, I guess. But like, again, you've had breakdowns in front of me before. Yeah. And I don't mean that in like a, I wasn't, sometimes I don't feel like you need me to be the person that's like so overly validating.
Well, I was also going to say, you're not also the person who's going to, like, to me, you at the beginning of the episode, when you were like, what the fuck do you mean you're not my person? Like, that to me is you being supportive.
That's my love. That's my love language, is like, what the fuck are you saying to me right now? Love me back, bitch.
Yeah. So like, if you would have been, and plus, I mean, I texted Sierra that I was nervous when I was sitting down to edit the episode, because I'm like, I think I was just a blubbering, incoherent mess the entire time, and I derailed you had a funny episode planned. You had prepped these stories for people, and people love scandal stories. They love story episodes, and here I was just having a meltdown.
It's okay. Well, that's what we're doing today, so that's okay.
And then I watched it and I was like, no, I think that like this will resonate with somebody. And it did. It really did. And but by the end of it, I had expelled all my energy.
Yeah.
And like you picked up on that as well. And so you were like, okay. And then you knew when to time out.
Yes.
And so like it seemed abrupt to you guys at the ending, but we timed out, and I guess we didn't say that.
Yeah,
we took a TV timeout.
We did. We had a full break off camera because, again, I could tell that there were things or emotions she was having that maybe didn't need to be so public.
Yes.
That I was like, hey, and I said that. I was like, I moved my mic, and I was like, I think we need to just talk, you and I, for a second, because there's some things that, although I love how public we are, do still need to be like a private moment.
Yes.
Especially if you're going through a lot. And you were having that was when you were having a really tough time. So maybe that did seem, I don't know. I haven't listened back to it, so I don't know what people were, but I was like, where is this coming from?
I had no idea that happened.
Well, I tried to brush it off, but then I had a lot of things happening, and then I had tech issues on my stream, so then I just cried.
Jesus fuck.
It's okay. I cried in my bathtub, and honestly, Jerry, I think I needed it. So that was kind of a catalyst for me. So thank you. Because I was like, I'm holding in a lot of emotions. I listened to the song from Encanto.
Which one?
Mirabelle's song.
Oh, okay.
I was like, can't control the morning rain or a hurricane.
Oh no.
I'm waiting on a miracle.
Oh no.
Anyways. Where he was like, you could be okay there. I was like, 5 more minutes.
Almost.
I'm almost done. Meanwhile, I just keep emptying and refilling the bathtub with her water.
Oh, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, it was going cold pretty quickly. But anyways, it really wasn't. I'm glad that we did it. It was a good episode. I just want to say for anybody who didn't catch that wasn't one I presented. Can we do a part 2 where we might have like resources and coping skills and stuff that I look up, and maybe then I'll be more educated on it? Sure.
That's not what that was, though.
That was not what I intended. I didn't want to offend anybody or say the wrong thing. And so maybe if I was more quiet in certain moments, I just didn't want to say the wrong thing. And I was very much like, oh, I don't know. I know what I would say to you, but I don't want anyone who hears this and is going through another thing to hear my words and like put it black and white as like, that's what she means to me.
And that's why I think I said, and I think I said in the description too, that like this is not a one size fits all thing. It is
very much so.
And that's why the diagnosis as a whole is such a catch all, and like a lot of people in the mental health space like hate it as a diagnosis.
Yeah. Also, I have to say this just for because there was a lot of people saying that they were like, oh, maybe that's what I have. Please go get don't diagnose yourself based on just that episode, please. Because that's something you definitely need to talk to a healthcare professional. We are not professionals. I'll say that here and now.
And I don't even know 100% that that's what it is. It's just something that's been talked about. It's been something that's a possibility. And so like, certain things can fit in a moment, and then they like may not, once you have more information, they may not fit anymore.
Sure.
So like,
it's all health that's what's happening inside my body right now.
Yes.
Where they're like, oh, we thought it was this. Turns out could also be gallbladder. Turns out it could be this. So I feel like that could also work with your brain.
Right. So
obviously.
Right now I'm just using the information that I have to try to make sense of stuff and like help myself process what I'm going through right now. Please do not think that that's me labeling myself for certain, and I'm definitely not telling you to label yourself and saying that that's how it manifests in everyone and looks like in everybody. But yeah.
But all things considered, I think we got great response. So it was really nice to see all the validation and all of the like responses that made people feel seen and stuff. It reminded me of the trauma bonding episode.
Find out who was mean to her, it's on site. Just know that.
That's so nice.
Truly.
And the one was actually very mean, and I did just go ahead and block them because I was like, I don't know why they talked to me like that one person talked to you. I was like, wow. But again, they might have just been going through an episode themselves, and it was just like, hey, that was something I didn't need to hear in that moment, or you didn't respond in the way that maybe I want someone to respond, or maybe they saw me as someone in their life who doesn't understand them, and that felt frustrating for them in that moment. But I would I didn't deserve that.
Yeah, you absolutely don't deserve that.
Those feelings. Also, this is important for anybody, BPD or any mental illness or just a neurotypical person.
Yeah.
Your feelings that you're having and the things you're going are not an excuse to take things out on other people.
Yes, you don't get to hurt people because you're hurting. I know they say hurt people. You don't get to hurt people.
Yeah, that's an understanding as the person who's been hurt to be like, oh, I get that it's not me while they're hurting me.
Yes.
That's not an excuse.
That's not a green light to go and hurt people when you're hurting.
No shit.
Yeah.
Other than that, we have exciting news.
We do.
We have very exciting news.
Yes!
I was like, wait.
It's finally out in the world. We have joined, and that's why we drink, for their Parapods Network.
Oh, so exciting. So we are now with Q Code Media and Parapods Network. And a lot of people on my stream were like, can't wait to have you explain this to us tonight.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what it means, essentially a network, like we were on a network previously, and they're kind of who markets for you and who does ads for you. And maybe we have been with some people that did do that. It wasn't a good fit.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we feel very, very confident that the like partnership and what we have with, well, first of all, we fucking love Christine and Em. I mean, we've been saying that for years now. But we feel like, you know, there's collaborations that are going to come in the future, and we're just going to like help, I think, or become part of a network of really, really cool individual like podcasters who all have one thing in common, and that's that we want to have fun. We're chaotic and silly, but we want to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
So
we want to uplift each other. We want to center ourselves around community.
Yes.
And the cool things about it being called Parapods is that everyone kind of had a different idea of what it meant.
Yeah.
Because Christine and Em have, and that's why we drink, that's their podcast, and they kind of focus on true crime, paranormal, cryptids, things like that. And so when you hear Parapods, you might think paranormal. But when I first heard it, I was like, oh, like parasocial, like parasocial relationships. And then other people, I think it was Christine was like podcasters.
Yeah,
it was like
pair of podcasts.
Two people, like a pair of people having a conversation. And so like the what's it called?
Oh, I know exactly what you're trying to say, but I don't know. Logo?
Yes, the logo for it. I almost said the mascot, but that's not what it is. I just kept thinking of a guy in a big suit.
You were doing a heart, and I was like, I know this for sure.
What are the kids do? Oh my God, my arthritis can't handle it. But the logo for it is like a friendship.
It looks like
necklace.
the best friends heart necklaces.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Really, really cute.
Yeah, I think when they first approached us to see if we would want to be a part of the network, because like we are the first podcast that joined their network, which is,
I'm not gonna lie,
such an honor,
so special,
such a fucking honor,
so special.
It was kind of a no-brainer for us, but we tried to play it cool.
Yeah,
we were like, yeah, we'll think about it. Meanwhile, like we know,
we were like, yes.
Absolutely, it's not even a thing.
We have to discuss. Meanwhile, we're like buzzing beside each other,
just kicking our feet, swinging our feet underneath the table. We share like so many common interests. We share morals. We share belief systems. Like we know that we align in so many ways, and we just believe that it is going to be a collaboration that is going to lift everybody up, and that anyone who joins the network in the future is just going to be an
extra.
Yes. Going to add to it. And that it is going to be another group of people that we also are going to celebrate and commune with.
I can't wait. I'm really very excited. So that's exciting news. We're going on tour again, everybody. You've been hearing it. I have to say it again. There are shows that are getting very close to selling out. So if you want to buy tickets, I would do it.
And I don't think we've told them, but I just finished editing a big portion of the show.
Oh my God. It's so fun.
It's very fun, and it's very spooky.
There is some spooky. There is definitely
accidental
some
spooks.
Yeah.
And this big dumb bitch is the reason.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, me? I am.
Yeah.
And yeah, sorry we just gave you FOMO, but we want you to have it because we don't want you to miss out. We want you to come and see the show. So also we're doing Camp Tangents, guys. It's happening. We're releasing it
June 21st.
Look out for it because we'll put a time and everything where we can all be in the chat, and it's going to be up on Patreon. It is an individual Patreon buy. Yes. So you don't have to be on Patreon to buy it. It's going to be just like available for anyone. You just have to go to our Patreon, patreon.com/ladiesandtangents to access it, but it will be its own individual price. And
at this moment in time, I hope I figured out how to do it, because in my mind, I believed I thought I could. And as I tried to do it this morning, I hit a roadblock. But I believe in me.
I believe in you as well.
I believe in me, and I believe I can figure it out. I did.
We still have Tom, I think. We could...
Tom? I thought you were saying time.
We still got Tom.
We got Tom. There's no Tom like the present.
No, our Tom from Patreon. Yeah. Our Patreon Tom.
Our Patreon Tom. I think we may have to create like a free tier.
Okay.
That is like for it in order for it to be in that tier for people. I don't know. I don't fucking know, but I'll figure it out for you. Don't worry. It will be on there. Keep checking back, but we'll post about it when it's live. Yes. You won't miss it.
Nope.
Don't worry about it. And it's not like it's going to sell out. So you also don't have to worry about that.
And if you have something going on that weekend or whatever, it will be available to watch whenever that you want. The only thing that we're doing all together is kind of like the live chatting part. But
yes.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Because I have so many stories. And by so many, I mean 7, because I knew that we would talk a fucking shit.
Well, also, I felt so embarrassed when the episode came out, because like I was done having my episode. And so like everyone was being really kind and sweet to me and encouraging. And I was like, guys, I'm fine now.
Good. I'm fine now. Please,
please don't look over here. I don't need it anymore. It was like
100%.
It was quite literally my worst nightmare. But
see, what was nice for me was when I cried on my stream, I just deleted them the next day. I was like, those aren't for anybody anymore.
Oh,
you don't get to see that anymore.
Fuck, I always miss you crying.
I know.
It come in when you're just flashing naked Sims.
I can't help it. Oh wait, I do have one more story. I'm sorry, this is gonna be so quick. Oh, that's what I called it, May Mash. Even though it wasn't in May, but I got the stories in May. This is May, right? I hope this is the right one. I think it should be. So I got my creator. So I'm in the EA creator program, support a creator program for EA. Okay. Yep. Right. And I've been waiting for a long time to get my code. Mm-hmm. And they asked me, what do you want your code to be? I said, CC streams. If you want it, if you get Sims Pack, CICISTREAMS. I did that correctly. And if you want to go watch me on Twitch, it's that exact same thing, extra S at the end of streams. Anyways, so I go on my Discord because they were like, email, you got your creator code, go to code. I hit go to code, then take a picture of it because what I see is horrific. And I put it in my Discord and I put all caps, guys, I'm actually dying right now. Now, people did yell at me for that. They were like, Sierra, with all your health issues.
Oh, you can't.
Please don't make an announcement. And I had to say to them, hey guys, I promise you
that's not how I'll tell you.
I won't announce that I am dying, that I have a fatal cancer by saying, guys, I'm literally dying right now. Anyways.
Could you imagine?
No, but that would be something maybe that I would do just to be silly. No, I would never.
What a chronically online way to announce it.
Yeah, that would be fucked up. But anyways, the whole thing was, it says creator code, and then it says awesome creator. And I went, what the fuck is that?
Oh, no.
I said, guys, I sent the picture, and I go, what the fuck is this? This is not what I told them I wanted.
No.
I'm so embarrassed. What am I going to go on and be like, everybody type in awesome creator for a link to stuff? I said, at this point, keep your fucking money.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. I said, guys, this is so embarrassing right now. What happened? How did I mess up? Yeah. I don't understand. And then I was even more embarrassed because I realized that it took me just to the regular page. I hadn't logged in. And awesome creator is just like the random one. And I'm thinking, imagine I would have announced that. Then who has awesome creator? That's what Shelby
it just goes
was
back to EA.
Shelby was like, who's got awesome creator? Because I bet you're not the first person to do that, and that person is making bank right now.
I bet it's just EA. It's just,
It is. It just goes right back into their pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, it is CC Streams, but I did change my Discord name to Awesome Creator CC. So now I'm embarrassed. All right, guys, we have a smorgasbord of stories for you because honestly, I read so many good ones that I couldn't pick a category.
Is your phone broken?
In
cracked?
Like so many ways. Where? Oh, across that?
No, you're by your camera.
That is. Oh yeah, but it pops off.
Oh, okay.
That's a case.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also cracked all over. I just changed it. I drop this phone a lot. That's a protective case.
Okay.
Is it? I don't think it is. Oh no, I think I broke my phone.
I'm so sorry to announce that to you.
News.
But I've stared at your phone so many times.
Well, it's not fucking my pictures up.
No, I think it's just the back of your phone.
1 second.
No way. No way.
How the fuck did that happen?
Oh my God.
How and when? Did I run over this with my car?
I don't know, dude. But I've seen the back of
a case.
I've seen the back of your phone so much, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen it cracked. Bitch.
I'm ready to go get a new phone. I think I'm due for an upgrade for sure.
You think?
Yeah, I got. How long do you think I could just fuck around with that? It's not really doing anything.
No, once you put it in the case, it's gonna hold it all tight.
That's what I think. I mean, definitely don't run your hand against it. It's kind of cool.
You know the phone.
You know what's weird is I don't feel that. So is that underneath? No, I felt that.
You know that one phone, my extra phone that we recorded Girls Gone Wild on? That's what the back of it looks like.
Is it well?
I mean, I was able to record on it.
Okay, so I think it's fine. I'm going to need a new case probably.
You can't take the case off.
All right. Anyways, back to this. Sorry, guys. What the fuck? That's... This is devastating. When did that happen?
I don't know.
Okay. This is... I'll just start with this one because it might be my favorite email, perhaps, to date.
To date?
It's one of the coolest I've ever heard.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
And it also has a little something special for me and you at the end, which is why I think you'll like it.
Okay.
It says, I broke my back and now I taste sounds and colors.
What?
Yeah. Yep. Here we go. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Hey, ladies. It's been a while since I've listened to the podcast because of life and what have you, but it's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep because I'm stressing about a procedure tomorrow morning. And then it says in parentheses, this morning? I don't know. You know what I mean. So I figured I'd send in this little story for you. It all starts 4 years ago. I was 3 days out from a move from Minnesota to a new college in Missouri. Why I chose a school in Missouri, I don't know. I wasn't thinking about anything besides not living with my parents as a 20-year-old. I went to my last day of work at a horse farm to teach a few lessons, ride my boss's young horse, and say goodbye to a horse I'd been training for a few months and had fallen in love with.
Not horse stuff.
Mm-hmm. I was so sad to be leaving and literally sobbed the whole way to the barn about saying goodbye to the horse. Spoiler, but I never said goodbye to her, and now she's mine.
Aww.
I know, that's really sweet. Anyways, I was almost done with my day and only had to ride my boss's horse before I could leave for the day. This horse's name is Tiffany. Why would anyone name a horse Tiffany, you ask? Horse people are weird. That's all I'll tell you. Her full name is Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Okay.
I think it's really good. Out. But if she were my horse, I would have just called her Breakfast. Because having a horse named Tiffany sounds like a stripper. And the whole situation would be rife with riding a stripper jokes. I got to go home and ride Tiffany.
Oh.
You know?
Dang.
The thing you need to know about Tiffany is that she is pleasantly plump. She's a fat black and white horse who loves her a good nap. To a point where she was known around the barn as the land whale.
Oh my God.
Not the body shaming Tiffany.
Yeah, Jesus.
Well, not them body shaming breakfast at Tiffany's. That's such a funny name.
How
for
are you
a
going to
horse.
name her breakfast at Tiffany's and not expect
her
her
to be
a land whale?
Yeah. Well, on this fine summer day, Miss Land Whale wasn't too interested in exerting any more energy than she needed to. I rode her for barely 10 minutes and decided to finish the ride by trotting back to her mom / my boss. Instead of exerting a minute amount of effort, she decided that it would be an easier attempt to unauthorized dismount me.
Uh-oh.
She managed to levitate above the ground and then shoot her butt up in the air, slingshotting me over her head into a somersault onto the ground.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She goes, land whale?
She said, I heard what
How
you've been
about
fucking...
this?
I've heard what you've been fucking saying about me.
You've never seen an athlete like this.
In your life. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to change my trajectory and I landed directly on my head.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. I was knocked unconscious and only remember waking up thinking I was choking because the wind was knocked out of me at such an impressive force that my lungs were refusing to open again. I don't have a ton of memories after that, and I'll save you all the gory details of it. But long story short, I managed to get 3 broken vertebrae. I broke every single rib and got a cute little traumatic brain injury to top it all off.
Little TBI.
Not the TBI. I wasn't hospitalized because the brakes were stable enough to send me home in a neck brace.
What?
What about your ribs, sister? What about the traumatic brain injury? What are you talking about? Honestly, I'm really glad.
How would you set you? I guess you would just.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you break a rib, you just gotta like.
You just.
wait?
I think you just. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
You just gotta like Spider-Man heal yourself.
Yeah, I guess.
Crazy. Honestly, I'm really glad I got the TBI because it allowed me to forget the pain of the broken back and ribs, and it saved me the humiliation of wearing a neck brace for 6 weeks. I have only a few memories from about a 3-month span, one of them being the pain of sneezing with a body full of broken ribs.
Oh my fuck.
Yeah. Truly a pain I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And it says, this is not me. It says, maybe Trump, though.
Who's currently fighting with his boyfriend, Elon.
I love it. The drama. It literally is. I'm like, you guys are... It's like, it's giving 12-year-old girls.
Uh-huh.
And that's a disservice to 12-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think they would do this.
AOC being like, the girls are fighting, aren't they?
Again. The other standout memory is a doozy. I was laying in bed listening to music, which was about the only thing my mashed potato brain could manage. I suddenly spat up and I was 100% convinced I had chocolate in my mouth. Like the good Lindt chocolate truffles, the red kind to be specific. I knew I hadn't eaten any chocolate, but I could taste it and almost feel the chocolate in my mouth. Turns out my potato brain had managed to heal a little tiny piece of itself, but like in a wrong way. Somehow now I could taste sounds.
What?
The song I was listening to was a Harry Styles song. I think Sweet Creature, but I'm not certain. That's besides the point.
Creature.
But ever since then, I've tasted every single sound that has come through my little ear holes. About 2 months later, I started seeing colors with sounds too, but not like seeing colors with my eyes. I would
Please
see
tell me
it
she
in
tells
my
us what we
mind.
taste like.
Yes! That's why I was like, this is the coolest fucking email I've ever. Yeah.
Oh my God. I
know.
can't wait to find out what I taste like.
I know. About 2 months later, okay. Like all of a sudden, I'd be tasting eggs, but thinking of the most turquoise blue you've ever seen. Interesting that it's eggs. We just talked about that.
Like robin's egg?
Maybe. It was real cool, but for a very brain damaged lady, it was a whole lot to process and even harder to explain to people. I did manage to explain it to my TBI doctor, who did some research and discovered it was acquired synesthesia.
Okay, yeah.
It's a pretty rare occurrence and it isn't well documented. I was referred to the University of Minnesota to be studied. I haven't done it because it sounds like a lot of work and way more attention than I want. I just like the knowledge that I'm a special, unique flower, but the flower doesn't want to be studied, you know?
So synesthesia, some people when they hear music, they
can
see colors.
Yes, I've known that.
David from Love on the Spectrum, he sees colors as numbers.
Interesting.
Yeah, colors as numbers.
That's very interesting. Because I was so brain damaged too, I'd forget who I had told about my new superpower, so I'd just randomly blurt out, "Your voice tastes like raisins," and then not elaborate any more than that. And it definitely cemented my weird girl persona for a while. Now it's just my fun party trick to tell people what their voice tastes like, what color it is, or whatnot. Sierra, your voice tastes like peach rings. When I read that, I screamed because I was like, that's what I've always wanted to taste like.
Oh my God. You're delicious.
I love that for me. But not the name brand ones. It tastes like generic gas stations peach rings. Hold on. Which I think are better. And my voice is a coral color.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Jerry, your voice has changed taste a few times. At one point, it tasted exactly like the smell of the banana boat lotion sunscreen.
I swear to fucking God, I almost said banana. I almost was just like, why do I feel like she's going to tell me I was like a banana runt or something like that?
No, you're the your sunscreen.
Okay, I get that.
Yep. But now it's more of a peanut butter.
That's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Your voice has always been a soft yellow color.
That's so sweet.
I know. Any hoozles, that's my superhero origin story. Not included was the aphasia I had after the accident, where I literally couldn't say words or I'd forget half my vocabulary, which made telling people about my new superpower incredibly frustrating. Oh. Long story short, don't ride any land whales named Tiffany. I really wish her name was something more ominous, like Diabla or something. Instead, I just sound like I was nearly killed by a stripper. Hope this story was interesting and you aren't weirded out that some stranger in Minnesota has tasted your voice. Much love, Liz.
Liz, that's the coolest thing ever.
I told you.
And also, breakfast at Tiffany's gives you breakfast at everything now.
Yeah, you can taste.
No, you eat all the time, constantly. You're never not tasting.
Isn't that so cool? That's why I was like, there are some good ones we've had, but that might be hard to beat because that is very, very interesting.
That is interesting. And you know what else is interesting is I typed my name into that one. It was some random TikTok thing, and it was like a yellow color.
Yeah, that's right. And mine was like a blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I felt like mine was going to be banana. That's interesting, and it's interesting that it's now.
You know what? I thought mine was going to be peach something. So when she said peach rings, I was like, oh my God, why did I think that? Very interesting. Wow. I also fucking love peach rings. I think they're so good. And honestly, the gas station ones are better.
I'm curious if you guys, do any of you guys have fun stuff like that? What do we taste like to you? What are we like to you? What have you experienced with us? You be tasting us in your free time?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Leave it in the comments below.
How have we been for you?
This next one's a heartwarming story.
Okay.
And I really like it. I won't tell you what it says. We'll just go into it.
Okay.
This says you have full permission to use the names in this story. Hey, my name is Haley, she, her, and I need to share this absolutely crazy story with you guys. So way back in 1981, my grandma, her name is Tammy, had a pen pal from Japan named Nariko.
Okay.
It's Nariko. Okay. Nariko. I'm going to say Nariko.
Okay.
She got this pen pal because one of her classmates didn't connect with her, so she asked my grandma if she wanted to write to her. And long story short, they wrote each other all the way up until the early 90s, receiving 1 to 2 letters a week. It was very nice. And in 1988, Nariko even traveled from her home in Tokyo, Japan, population roughly 14 million, all the way to a tiny town in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan called Ishpeming, population roughly 6,000.
Wow.
That was probably a crazy jump scare.
Yeah.
And stayed with my grandparents and her children for a week. Unfortunately, a few years later, my grandmother received her last letter from her stating she was having a difficult time keeping up with her English writing and her own family life and that she couldn't write anymore. Aww. Now, fast forward to 2025, okay? I had previously tried to help my grandma find Nariko through Nariko. How did I say I was going to say it at first?
Narco.
Okay. Through social media and the internet, but came up empty-handed until just last week. My grandma went to a graduation party, okay? Mm-hmm. And a family acquaintance, Tina, jumped out of the food line and excitedly told her something that shocked my grandma to her core. Tina said her daughter is traveling in Japan and was chatting with her tour guide. They mentioned they were from Ishpeming, Michigan, and to the shock of everyone, the tour guide seemed surprised herself and said she'd been to Ishpeming and that she had a friend there named Tammy. And immediately Tina's daughter freaked out and called her mom. Because seriously, what are the chances? Now, if you knew just how small Ishpeming is, and for a Japanese tour guide to personally know someone from here, not only that, Narukos used to live in the United States, so the chances of her living back in Japan and then being a tour guide and then meeting someone we know, it's just crazy. I don't know if it's just me, but I just can't stop thinking about it. Anyways, my grandma has since reconnected with her through emails. I've never experienced something that truly shows that maybe the universe truly works to bring people back together, or back together in this case. Well, I have numerous stories I could tell you, but this one is fresh in my mind, and whether you read it or not, I just had to share it. I've been a weekly listener since 2020, and it truly makes my weeks better. Thank you guys for making life less boring, and I hope to one day make it to one of your shows. Much love, Haley. And then she sent us pictures of, this is her with the family when she lived with him.
Oh, wow.
And then this was the picture they sent of her as a tour guide.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that so sweet? It could make me cry.
That is so sweet.
What are the fucking odds in a place with 14 million people that those two people connected?
Unreal.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. Next one.
It's also cool that now they have an opportunity to connect, because the reason that they stopped connecting was because it was difficult for her to keep up with her writing in English.
Yes.
And now to be able to communicate,
tour guide,
and be able to communicate with email, where like it's easy to like translate.
Yeah, that's so true. I didn't even think about that. That's really nice. I was thinking just like how incredible that she's a tour guide for English. So she probably did get better. Like, is working on it. Okay. We're going to really jump from those two.
Okay.
Because this one is full pivot to lesbian scandal. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride.
And if we haven't said it enough, happy Pride. We will be doing a Pride episode. So get ready to send us your Pride stories. We need them. We want them.
Can I say something?
Please.
I thought about this earlier.
Okay.
So I posted that picture of me in my bikini with my scar showing that was kind of thirst trappy, okay? And I got like a lot of compliments on it. I got a lot of wonderful feedback on it, all right? And the majority, if not all, is from women, right? And Brady got jealous.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I felt so proud of him for being jealous of women, because I'm like, you know I'm gay. You know I'm gay. You know that they're a threat as well. Yeah. I mean, no one's a threat because I'm monogamous. But, but like, that just made me so happy. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, sure. I love that for you guys.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Thanks for acknowledging my gayness with your jealousy.
Yeah. Hey, his jealousy knows no bounds. That's what I know.
Yeah.
I don't know that personally.
No.
This says, I accidentally manifested a lesbian meltdown scandal. Okay, ready?
I'm sorry. It is pouring rain outside right now.
It is really raining.
Like, dumping.
I want to be out there. Is that weird? This is kind of a work scandal as well.
Okay.
Hey ladies, my name's Leah, she, her, and you can absolutely say my name. Thank God I didn't read that far. So. Because I don't work here anymore, and honestly, who gives a fuck? This is a long one, so allow me to dive right in. This was my second job out of college. The first one gave me PTSD, so I figured, hey, anything has to be better than that. I said PTSD like that because she did the squiggles on
Yeah.
Oh my God, not the thunderstorm. It's happening right now. Imagine we lose power. I'm going to be so fucking scared, actually.
I thought about it.
So I figured, hey, anything has to be better than that. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Okay, it was a little bit, but this was bad in a different way. So I landed in the world of golf. I don't play, but I did learn two things fast. Golfers love to drink, and women golfers often love women.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's one of the gayest sports.
Is it? Corey wants me to be... What is he trying to do? Make me leave? Corey wants me to start doing golf with him. I was just out the other day with him. I don't do golf, but I do like to ride around in the golf cart and drink while he plays.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to get you some clubs and we should golf together.
I want to go and I want to color the balls.
What?
Have you seen that? Where the girls will be it, well, I guess anyone, but like in the videos I've seen, the girls take like Sharpies and they color like smiley faces or cherries or little rainbows on the balls, and then the guys hit the ball. And so like you're in the golf cart decorating and drinking.
That's
and
cute.
They hit them.
I was just listening to Post Malone.
Drinking.
Yeah. Noah Khan. Okay. And pissing in the woods. Anyways, not all just enough. That was a clarification on the women that love women. The Wallowa in golf.
Yes.
Anyways.
What is that? Women love women.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Wallowa.
Wallowa.
Anyways, things start going sideways when my boss, let's call her Bonnie, starts dating, let's call her Joanna. Okay? Bonnie dating Joanna. Okay. They had gone on a friend's trip to my hometown together, and well, the rest was history. We're gearing up for a big work conference in Phoenix. I've been hearing about this trip for a year and a half. It's been hyped up to me so much fun bonding time and a chance to really get jazzed about our jobs. So this is a work trip, mind you. So when Bonnie invites me and my coworker, let's call her Darby, to come early for a quote girls trip to just like hang out before the actual work stuff, I agree. I mean, sure, she blacked out last time we traveled. And then it says in parentheses, Nashville 1, Bonnie 0. But maybe this time will be different. I just listened to a couple of the episodes where y'all weren't quite clear enough on your manifestations. And when I manifested clarity on this trip about whether I should leave this job or not, I maybe should have been more clear about what kind of clarity I was looking for. Maybe lack of enthusiasm about my work or a better opportunity, not lesbian love drama, a stranger's sex life and trauma dump, and getting to know more about my boss than I ever wanted. Here we go. 6 weeks before we leave, Bonnie asks if Joanna can join the girls' trip. I feel pressured, so I say yes. But what I don't realize is that I'll be sharing a hotel room with them.
Oh, no.
Which would be a very different situation if they were just buddies and not bumping uglies. But alas, that's the thing, too. It's different. It's not even like a gay thing either. I would feel uncomfortable sharing a room. Well, sometimes I do with you and Brady, but obviously I know you guys aren't going to do anything like super sexual when we're sharing a hotel room. Yeah. But sharing a hotel room on a full trip, not just for a night with a couple... I
think if it's a couple that you only know because you work with the person, that's different than like family.
Yeah, family couples.
Also, bumpin' ugly feels homophobic when you're talking about a same-sex couple.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's only ugly when it's hetero.
It's only ugly
when there's penises involved.
Okay.
I feel like it's bumping Pretties when it's whoa.
Okay, you know what? I'm down with that. You're so right. She says, remember, this is my boss, the person who signs my paychecks.
Right.
So that's where this all comes in. Even better, I don't know why am I playing the freaking, I'm trying to be like, in her defense, as if I'm devil's advocating for her right now.
As if she's the devil.
Yeah, you're not. You're totally fine. Even better, our other coworker, Grace, couldn't join the trip early because apparently Bonnie couldn't find a ticket, but she could find one for her girlfriend. For sure. On the way to the airport, I hear Bonnie and Joanna gossiping about a mutual friend, Tara. Joanna doesn't want Bonnie to be friends with her anymore. Bonnie casually...
Tara sounds gay.
Yep. Bonnie casually mentions that she and Tara share a therapist, and the therapist talks to them about each other.
That's not
I'm
kosher.
thinking holy HIPAA violation. But then plot twist, we realize she's not a therapist. She's a life coach. But we'll get there.
Tara and Joanna share a life coach. It's also a lesbian movie.
Joanna and Bonnie are glued together. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking of the life coach that's like the twin flame people.
Yes.
That's immediately where in my mind. That's why I said cult. I just had to clarify
white
that.
Robe.
I don't believe all life coaches are starting a cult, but that's what I immediately pictured. Joanna and Bonnie are glued together the entire flight. Day 1, mostly fine. I'm delusional from lack of sleep and a lunchtime margarita. The next morning, we end up at a surprise drag brunch. Iconic. See attached video of me twerking if you so desire. Nighttime was an adventure, of course, because Bonnie and Joanna are actively snuggling in the bed immediately next to me, while Darby and I are doing our best to sleep in separate zip codes in this queen-size bed. Side note, I just feel like bringing your girlfriend on a girls trip is the same as if I were to bring my husband. Hey, maybe we get a different room, as it does perhaps change the whole vibe of the trip. Yeah, that's where you explained it a lot better than me. Just because she's also a girl does not mean it is not weird to sleep with her when 2 other people that you employ are mere feet away.
Yeah.
Day 3, they leave for an early morning tea time. This means they're going to go golf. Thank you for the clarification.
They're not going for a drink.
Joanna doesn't play, but apparently she can't be apart from Bonnie for a single moment. Meanwhile, Darby and I, maybe she's coloring her balls.
Maybe.
Meanwhile, Darby and I are finally alone and venting. That's when I learned the therapist is in fact a life coach. Suddenly, everything clicks. I've been giving Bonnie so much grace because I thought we were both seeing licensed mental health professionals, but no.
But we're not.
She was talking to someone who was telling her what she wanted to hear. No shade if you see a life coach, but if you have deep-rooted trauma that you'd like to take out on other people, maybe we should see someone who is certified to deal with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We moved to an Airbnb. Praise be, we have separate bedrooms now. When Bonnie and Joanna show up, they're fighting. The vibes, rancid.
Oh, no.
Joanna forces us to grocery shop before our other coworkers arrive. And then Bonnie...
Could you imagine? I'm so sorry. Could you imagine Leah brings her partner and is having a full-blown argument? Do you think her boss would think that's appropriate for a work trip? Do you think her boss
the
is
power dynamic here?
Yes.
Ew.
Taking advantage of it fully.
100%. And then Bonnie forgets to tell her where we are. So she gets to the Airbnb and no one is there. The other coworker who was arriving. Please keep in mind this other coworker had started not even 2 months prior, and she is a mere 22 years old.
Oh, no.
She shows up to an Airbnb and it's deserted. No one's there. In a strange city, and we are just nowhere to be found. Suddenly, the whole trip starts revolving around Joanna. Dinner, activities, everything. Monday rolls around and Joanna, who is not staff, joins us for the official conference kickoff, including the staff golf outing. See, this is it's a power thing and it's very strange. Joanna gets obliterated while there. She tells me about her dead wife, her ex-husband, and how I'm also probably gay.
She goes, and just in case you're wondering, I'm into it.
She goes, for the record, I am happily married to a man, but thank you for the unsolicited sexual awakening. She also tells me about her sex life with the aforementioned ex-husband, dances up on me, flirts with Bonnie in front of everyone, and fully poses, legs spread in our team photo.
Oh my God. What?
Love that for the LinkedIn update.
Not the LinkedIn update.
This email's so funny to me. She stumbles into the welcome dinner, still drunk. No one else has brought a partner. She stays with us another day. At this point, I have not seen my boss do a single work-related thing. No networking, no support, just emotional chaos and golf pants. And one time she made me cry. Joanna finally leaves. Bonnie reappears for one day. We get home on a Friday and I walk into the office the following Monday to find that Bonnie is sobbing because Joanna broke up with her.
Oh, no.
On Sunday night.
Bonnie has short hair. I just feel it. I just feel it, and Joanna has long hair.
I need to see this. One is blonde, one is brunette?
No.
Oh, I was thinking Bonnie was blonde.
No.
Okay.
Might have been when she was younger.
Leah, you better write in and tell us.
But Bonnie's hair's darker than Joanna.
Okay. Send us the picture. Send us a picture.
Hey, send us your LinkedIn.
I want to see that picture with the legs spread.
For no reason.
Apparently, by the way, this breakup had something to do with her grief over her dead wife, which is valid, but this is where we circle back to perhaps a licensed mental health professional. But to butt into our entire trip for free, only to break up with her not even a week later, like that was so wildly unnecessary.
So unnecessary.
You could have waited like another week, or better yet, not come at all. Don't come.
Yeah.
And of course, because Bonnie and I shared an office, I heard about Joanna every single day.
Oh, no.
Until I quit back in March. This is unfortunately not even the wildest story I have to tell from this job. See, my boss taking me to abandon a coworker to go get blasted while he works at a booth at a street fair. Should I have said no? Yes. Is there a weird power dynamic because she's my boss and 10 years older than me? Also, yes. She was really taking advantage of that power dynamic.
Oh, 100%.
Anywho, that's all.
Maybe that's why I think she has short hair. Yeah. Maybe I'm being homophobic and assuming that lesbians have short hair.
You're definitely being homo-assuming.
But I feel like when you have short hair, you're powerful.
Your power trip is happening.
You know what I mean?
Or at least you think you are. Maybe you think you have more power than you are. I don't know. I've had both short and long. I've never had a pixie cut though, and I do feel like it would change me.
I think so too. I think so too. I think if I have a pixie cut, I would run for office.
Yeah, I would fucking do things. I'd be wearing pantsuits. That's for damn
truck.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd run for office.
Fuck yeah. Anywho, that's all for today, but I love you ladies so much, and the podcast is one thing on a very short list of things that kept me alive. Aw, literally trauma during the job that gave me PTSD. My husband and I came to see you in Raleigh and parked right next to you, but I got so scared and refused to go up and say hi. So we followed you at a safe distance.
Are you the ones who left a note on the car?
Oh, yeah, maybe. We did get a note. And as Cece was stopping by the merch table for something, I went, hi, in the meekest little voice and ran away. Hopefully next tour, I can muster up both the courage and the finances for a meet and greet. I also have so many family scandals to share, but need to talk to my mom to get the real juicy deets. So stay tuned. My life is a sitcom, and I've always said that. XOXO.
Well, I hope you're doing better, and I hope you're at a job where people are normal.
Yeah, no shit. No shit.
And not sleeping with their toxic partners right next to you.
That's a fact.
Makes me uncomfy.
For this next story, you know we have to do an axe of oopsies in the pants situation. We wouldn't be ladies and tangents if we didn't talk about
poop.
What this next one is titled is pee in my pants.
Great.
So I'm really excited for you to hear. Hey, y'all beautiful humans. My name is Allie, pronouns she, her, and you can totally use my name because there's a million of us out here. Allie gang unite, no matter how you spell it. Gang. I have a sister named Allie. I agree. You guys are everywhere. Here I am doing some computer work for, work, and I was listening to some old episodes where a listener wrote in about how the two of you are the first people we peasants think of when we have an axe-a-doopsie in our pants. I can absolutely confirm that I, too, think of my two beautiful internet besties that I have never met in person any and every damn time I piss my pants. And yes, there definitely has been a plurality in the number of times that I have had more than just a little dribble come trickling out. Oh my God. We walked to a local bar the other day just to have a beer after we recorded, and I pissed and I sneezed and full on pissed my pants.
I immediately fell back. I was like, let me check you, bend over.
I was wearing shorts too. I was really scared.
You were good.
Yeah.
God bless dark denim.
They're these shorts. They were really dark, and I was like, denim. It is wet. I can feel it. Who else could I possibly tell about this without having to live forever with my embarrassment? The whole internet, apparently. So here we go. I am in a sales position for my company, and I cover a really large territory, well over 200 miles in driving almost every other day.
Jesus.
That's a lot, which means I spend a lot of time in my car using it as my office. Towards the end of a particularly long day, I was finally able to start heading home. On this day, I had gotten thirsty and a little sleepy, so I decided to get a 16-ounce can of soda in hopes that the caffeine would help me make it home safely. After purchasing the soda from a gas station before leaving town, I cracked that baby open and chugged nearly half of it, burped real hard, and then drank most of the rest of it right away. I got off one highway to get onto another that puts me on the home stretch to my house, but that means I'm still about 45 minutes away from home. Oof. It was as soon as my tires felt the home stretch that it sent something through my whole body, and I had to piss. Not just one of those, oh no, I have to pee soon, I better keep an eye out for a gas station type of needs, but more along the lines of, I have never had to hold my pee this long in my entire life, and if I were to move my leg just right, it's entirely coming out. That was me when we were in the Uber in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting on my foot shaking, and I was like, I will piss in this car.
Like, I'm going to throw up.
I'm violently ill.
Yep.
You better get us somewhere or I'm pee-peeing in your car.
Yeah, that was so bad.
That was horrific. I was just sweating buckets.
Didn't you go into a record store?
I did.
That's where you found a cat.
I did.
Yeah.
It all worked out in the end. Now, I do not live in a super wildly populated area, which is why my sales area is so large. Because of this, there is not any sort of plethora or businesses or gas stations just hanging out along the highway. Instead, there are cornfields, bean fields, and rundown barns within those corn and bean fields. I have driven this highway so many times at this point that I know fully well that the nearest rest stop is about 20 minutes away, 15-ish if I'm speeding real good. I hype myself up. I tell myself that I'm stronger than my own pee. I remind myself that I don't do those damn Kegel exercises for nothing. I floor it the best that I can while trying to keep my thighs pressed together, and with my hand pressing on my pee hole, that's gonna stop anything. I'm 5 minutes down the road. I'm sweating.
You got a bicycle.
Yep.
You got a bicycle.
My legs are starting to shake from how hard I'm squeezing them together. I turn y'all's podcast up louder to give me a distraction. Another 5 minutes down the road. I'm halfway to the rest stop. I remember that there's an exit coming up that leads to a town with a gas station 2 miles down the road.
I imagine somebody listening to this story while they have to pee, and it's just like
making it so much worse.
Inner monologue, and now they're sweating.
Oh, for real. I contemplate every single life decision that I've made up until now. I decide I will need to take that exit, but there's no way I'm going to make it 2 more miles down the road to the gas station. I desperately look around my car for some sort of empty can or bottle or barf bag or box or anything. All I have available is the 16-ounce can of mostly drank soda sitting in my cup holder. I see the exit coming up. I'm now sweating profusely, even with the air-conditioned seats blasting cold air up my back. Air-conditioned seat sounds phenomenal.
What
kind of fucking space shuttle are you flying around in? God damn.
You sound like you have a pixie cut. That sounds like a powerful,
that's a fucking powerful car. I make it to the exit and immediately pull off to the shoulder where semis typically stop for who knows what other than to inconvenience other people exiting or dumb bitches that gotta pee really bad. I'm on the verge of blacking out now because I've been holding my breath without realizing it, in hopes that it would help me not have to pee so badly. The car is stopped. I scoot my seat back as fast as it will electronically go, which is the speed of slow. That's so frustrating when you just have to, you're like, The car is stopped. Oh, I already read that part. Okay. While I'm trying to shimmy my skinny work slacks down my sweaty legs, I'm hoping I don't accidentally pee everywhere. I hover over the can and I absolutely let loose. Oh, it's a can. Sweet relief. Relief that lasts for about 0.3 seconds because I start to feel something warm in my seat.
Oh, yeah, there's
Remember
no way.
how I said that the can was mostly empty? Apparently, I had more pee than the allotted 12 available ounces that the can can hold, in addition to the 4 ounces of soda it was still holding. I'm now peeing on my hand and spilling pea soda all over my friggin' driver's seat. Not the expensive car.
Oh,
no. Now, what the fuck do I do? I'm not wearing pants. I'm absolutely covered in piss. I'm holding a can of pee pop.
Hey, that's what I called my grandpa.
Pee pop. Oh, that's my pee pop. And there's nowhere for me to get rid of said can because your girl refuses to litter. I like your style. I like your morals in this time of crisis. What was supposed?
You could have dumped the pee out.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably
Kept
what
the can.
I would hope that's what she did. Okay, we're getting there.
Okay.
What was supposed to be relief immediately turns to panic. I do my best to open the passenger door without spilling any pee and manage to get the can dumped out. Naked ass fully in the air because my pants were a puddle of piss on my floor at this point.
Amazing.
I get in my glove box and pull out the emergency napkins to dry myself off the best I can. I reach into my work bag because I keep extra undies in there because I never know when my period is going to start. That's just smart all the time.
That's brilliant.
Now the only problem I have is my lack of pants. I remember I have a tablecloth in my backseat to cover the table I use when doing demos. I grab it and wrap myself in it as much as I can while still blasting the air-conditioned seats to try to dry out my leftover pee-pee. I call my partner at home while merging back on the highway and I say, hey, I need you to not ask any questions right now, but I also need you to meet me outside in the driveway with a robe and a plastic bag. I'll explain after I have a bath. We both were able to have a good chuckle about it after the fact, and we were both super relieved that I didn't get pulled over for any reason because having to explain that to an officer was not what I was needing. And that's one of my stories. If you want to hear about how I had to pee in a cornfield during a Teams meeting, let me know, I guess. Okay, love you guys. Bye.
I'm impressed that you got any amount of it in the can.
Yeah.
At all. Because as someone who tried to pee into a wine bottle.
Maybe she broke the can open. Kind of like smashed it in. You never did that?
How?
Oh, with your finger?
The whole top?
Yeah.
You didn't that's like metal though.
Why you don't do this to me?
Sorry. I'm not doing that to a pop can. Don't be weird about
your fucking finger like that. I'll smash my whole phone on the ground right now.
I'm talking about a pop can. You're the one who's talking about pushing it in.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm not over here going like this or whatever. I'm not over here with a fucking
chewing a speculum like a pop can.
I'm not over here with a fucking espresso martini or whatever. But that's raw metal.
Yeah, it is.
That's
near your pee-pee.
Ow. Near my pee-pop? You're just asking for a cut of a pee-pop. Here's a slice my pee-pop wide open.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely on my period.
yeah, for sure. Oh, no. Wait, do we have time for one more?
We sure do.
Oh, I have a doozy to leave us with.
Okay.
And this one is a horror story.
Story?
Like it is of the sexual variety. So if you're listening with perhaps little ears around, I would turn this off for right now.
I don't know that you should have been listening with little ears up until now.
We were just doing this to a pop can. That's a good point. Anyways, here's the deal. This one is called The Time I Hooked Up with a Bodybuilder with a Queef Fetish. Here we go.
I had a queef that sounded like a fart.
Do they not always?
I feel like I've had queefs that like definitely don't sound like farts, but there was one that happened today that definitely sounded like a fart. And for whatever reason, I felt the need to announce that it wasn't a fart. Even though, like, who gives a fuck?
I don't ever announce. Sometimes I think it's a power move. Put a pixie cut on me and let me fart on you, because sometimes I like you to think it was a fart.
Give me a pixie cut and let me queef. Because I am powerful.
Oh, that's good. Hey, ladies, my name is Gabrielle, they, them. I'm seeing you guys in Columbus this fall with my cousin, my Jerry/Sierra, and my partner. And I'm so excited to see you all live. I can't wait. Let me know if you just yell in the crowd that you're the queef girl.
Not the queefer.
Or the queef person. Apologies. Anyways, so here's my little tale of hoedom.
Mm-hmm.
I am an out and proud raging lesbian now. But a few years ago, after getting out of an abusive relationship with a man, I know, a low moment for me. I was on my hoe phase shit and still in lots of denial about liking women. We've all been there. Mm-hmm. I was, of course, on the apps as one does, and I matched on Tinder with this guy. Let's call him Jay, because that's what his name started with, and that should have been my first red flag. He was this 6'1", very muscular man, like bodybuilder big, and I decided, why not? We chat and decide to go to dinner. We decide to go to O'Charlie's, and everything's going all right until he starts ripping shots right there at the table. He did offer me some, but I was 19 at the time, so this was a no-go. But like, bro, why are we doing shots in the O'Charlie's at 5 p.m.?
Dude, that would be wild. Like to sit down at a date and they're
doing shots like we're at a bar. That has never happened to me, and I'm surprised it never has.
Me too.
Because I feel like I've dated some people that would do shots in a O'Charlie's at 5 p.m.
100%.
On a first date.
Yeah.
Who knows? After dinner, we decide to go back to his place for a movie. Then the eyeball emojis, of course. And instead of the living room, instead of the living room, which is what I suggested we go to, we go to his room, because of course we do. Naturally, things start happening and we do the tango. He could pick me up and throw me around, which I will admit was nice, but the sex was eh. But I was horny and thought I was straight, and he was there, so I kept going back. Every single time we had sex, in a matter of seconds, this man would break out into buckets of sweat. Ew. Ew. There's a lot of things I can look past. That I don't know is one that I could.
I'll tell you.
Only because if like you're on top, I just don't like.
Don't drip it on me.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I would be
I'm going to get one of those personal hat umbrellas. Just block myself.
You do your thing, brother, but I do have to.
Yeah, I'm just going to whoop.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
It was honestly concerning. Like, sir, are you not dehydrated?
Yeah.
And he could not keep it up. Which, honestly, that
is that an indication of
I think
use of some kind
of a substance.
Yes.
For gym
things.
Personas.
Are we afraid to say steroid?
I don't know.
Is that taboo?
Maybe. But
We've said worse, I feel like.
I don't know. I don't want big steroid coming after us.
Yeah, oh no, big steroids here.
They're lying. I don't know that for sure. Allegedly.
I've never used it, so I don't know.
No.
I've never been with someone who used it. Clearly.
He said it was the condoms that I insist he wore. Red flag.
That made him sweat?
No. This was that he couldn't keep it up.
I was like, he's like, I'm so hot.
So warm with this condom on my wiener.
Is it fleece lined? What the hell? It's crochet. It's knit sweater material.
Knitted one.
It's wool.
Oh my God.
Wool.
Not wool in your puss would be horrific. He said it was the condoms I insist he wore just made it hard for him. But luckily, young me knew well enough to say, too bad, so sad. But every time I went over there, he had some sort of drink. So I also think it was probably just whiskey dick. Oh, that could be it too. Once again, another raging red flag, but young 19-year-old me was colorblind and had concerningly low standards. One time I was over there and we were doing the dirty. He was hitting it from behind and I turned around to look at him and he was on his phone. I did have some self-respect and shocker. And I stopped and said, excuse me? Oh, it says I did have some self-respect, shocker, not and shocker.
You use your phone on me? How about this?
You ever heard of my friend the shocker?
Oh, you're on your phone? How about two in the stink? How about two in your stink, brother? One in my pink, now two in your stink. Enjoy your phone.
Cry.
You would have seen it coming if your eyes were elsewhere, you idiot.
That's fucking funny. Okay. Fuck, where am I? I keep losing my fucking eyeballs are sweating. It's so hot in here.
These condoms on my eyes.
Fleece lined condoms covering my eyeballs right now. It's so hard to see. Oh my God. It stopped and said, excuse me. And he had the audacity to be surprised and ask, what? I said, we are having sex. Why the fuck are you on your phone? And he replied, I got a work email. I wanted to see what it was. Now, I have a story. Pause. This is a me story. I was with a guy one time and we were making out. Now, we were not fully penetrating, I don't think, but we were making out and he did have his hand down my pants. Okay. So it was close enough in my book.
Yeah.
And we were like this. Okay, here's me. Here's his face,
yeah.
Right? I'm very passionate. My eyes are closed, obviously.
Yeah.
I opened my eye. He has his arm around me like this. He's texting.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
I said, are you fucking texting right now? He was texting another girl, by the way.
Shut the fuck up.
Swear on my life.
With his hand down your pants? One hand down your pants, the other on another girl?
I got one hand in my panties, and the other one is texting another bitch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then he lied when I asked who, and he said he was texting his mom.
Why is it always his mom?
As if that wasn't at that point. Tell me you're texting another bitch because you have your one hand in my sink.
He was fingering your butthole. What? Hey, what's worse? You're calling your vagina your stink or his fingers in your ass? Which one's worse?
I meant to say pink. Anyways, he was in my pink. And he's texting his mom. Okay, I actually am crying. My makeup is fucked. Oh my God, dude. Anyways.
Oh no, when I was in here, I just remembered that I needed her to pick me up something from the store. Oh,
it was fleece-lined condom.
As soon as I stuck my hands in your pants, I thought about something I needed to tell my mom.
You never gonna regress. I don't know what I'm gonna say out loud. I need this now. This is my cry thing. Oh my God. Okay, anyways, we gotta get through this. I did say I had some self-respect. I did not say a lot. I did not say I had a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed a line. It says, like, safe to say there was no more sex had that night. I did say I had some self-respect. I did not say I had a lot. Eventually, I did go back over there. We were deciding to watch some television and settled on Netflix. It signed in under another girl's name, which I didn't care. I was seeing other people at the time, of course, too. So could he. But I'm a nosy bitch first and foremost, so I asked whose Netflix we were watching, and he proceeds to tell me, oh, just my bitch of an ex-girlfriend. She was horrible, so I kept her Netflix login. I was dumbfounded. I don't know this woman from Adam, but don't you dare call her a bitch.
Yeah.
So I stopped taking my clothes off and asked, why do you think she's a bitch? And he replied, she just always thought I was cheating and would go through my phone. She never wanted to have sex, but I'm a very active man, and that means I like to have sex a lot.
Ew.
Yeah. And since she wouldn't give it to me, I had to find it elsewhere. So eventually I started having sex with our dealer in her car.
Oh, dealer. Remember we said we assumed the use of some quartz
some quartz of thorns and roses.
I assume that's how you measure steroids, is in quarts.
Not quarts. I'll take a quart of steroid, please.
2 pints.
1 teaspoon. Just a small one.
Yeah.
When she found out, she flew off the handle. She was just so crazy. When I tell you my jaw was on the floor, I was stunned. I was gagged. I was flabbergasted. I ended up leaving very early without having sex with him and never saw him again. I do not condone men calling women bitches. And then he pulled that story out. And I had enough self-preservation skills to know that meant I needed to leave and never go back. Even still, every few months, he unblocks me and tries to hook up with me. And I decline, and he reblocks me to try again a few months later. I definitely dodged a bullet there. He was mediocre in bed and never made me finish. And also, he was really, really into making me queef.
I was going to say, where does the queef come in?
It's coming. No shame, let your freak flag fly, but I just didn't know that was a thing. Like, he would put me in positions purposely to make me queef. I don't know, man. Yeah. He was just a weird one. Thankfully, I'm out and in a very happy, healthy relationship.
Period.
Thankfully, I am out and in a very happy, healthy relationship with the love of my life. This is me and my partner. Can't wait to see you in August. Also, Jerry, can we get an update, if you'd like to share, of course, on the haunted house sitch, since you're keeping the house now? I'm so curious. Well, you're going to get one if you come to the show. You said you're coming in Columbus. You might get a little bit of something at that show, perhaps.
How about the other day, yesterday, Brady was like, the fire alarm is hanging out of the ceiling.
What?
Yeah. It was just like hanging out of the ceiling.
How'd that happen?
No idea. Anyway.
Well, that's it, everybody.
You think like he was so into queefing that he just got like a bike pump and like that was one of the positions? Just put him in. They just flip him over and just start fucking.
Well, you have to be really into it to know exact positions. That is going to make it really.
You just got to force air in there, right?
Yep. So, the old.
Yeah, legs up.
Yeah. Power bottom.
You know.
That old.
Air in the pink. Sounds like a stink. That's the definition of a queef.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Not air in my pink sounds like my stink. That's amazing.
Hey guys, we love you so much. You can hang out with us more if you want on patreon.com/ladiesandtangents. That's also where you can find Camp Tangents June 21st.
Yeah.
And then also come see us on tour. You can find tickets at our website, or you can see what cities we're going to, and then you can go and find it the venues.
Yeah. ladiesandtangents.com.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
We love you all so much. We will see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.